A while ago, we did a video about some of the more interesting products that Google, for better or worse, decided to kill off. But as many of you know, Google kills their own offerings off more frequently than the employee at the business end of a slaughterhouse. So let's take another look at what else Google has put on the chopping block. The first Google product we're looking at is something that's been in the headlines fairly recently, Google Play Music. It ran for nearly 10 years, and although it started mostly as a service to allow people to store their own songs in the cloud and buy new ones, it later became a full-fledged streaming service that competed with the likes of Spotify and Apple Music. However, Google was already offering streaming music through another one of its own services, YouTube. As the 2010s wore on, it became more common to find music on that platform, and in 2018, Google launched YouTube Music, which includes a paid option to remove ads and enable background listening. However, Google was paying to license music for two services instead of one. So with YouTube being the more popular service, it no longer made sense to keep Google Play Music around, meaning it got the axe in late 2020. Now we get to learn a new app that's worse. Yay! The next one will be familiar to those of you who have ever looked for DIY home security. I'm talking about the Nest Secure, which was a security system that competed with products like Amazon Ring and SimpliSafe. It was pretty full-featured with a base station and a keypad that frankly triggered my trypophobia, window and door sensors, and professional monitoring. But after about 3 years, Google deep-sixed the entire ecosystem in October 2020, though they'll continue to support customers that already have a system installed. Thanks, guys. Part of the issue here may have been lack of demand. Nest Secure was quite pricey compared to its competitors, as a starter kit with a base and a couple sensors was $500. And unless you lived somewhere like an apartment with minimal entry points, you needed to buy expensive add-ons to have effective security. Google actually partnered with ADT a short while before axing Nest Secure, and although ADT isn't exactly the most beloved company, Google may have thought there was more money in providing hardware to a well-established security firm instead of trying to compete on its own in a space where they were clearly getting undercut. Too bad they got rid of that "Do Not Be Evil" slogan. That would have been a great one for a security company to have. Let's move on and look at Google Fiber TV, the TV package you used to be able to bundle with the Google Fiber internet service. For an extra fee, you could get what was essentially cable TV over fiber. And although the now ubiquitous streaming services have eaten into the popularity of cable and satellite subscriptions, a dedicated service that doesn't go over the internet still has its advantages, which you can learn more about up here. However, Google had to pay the companies that own the rights to popular cable channels tons of money in order to carry them. In some cases, more than traditional cable companies were paying. Additionally, fiber internet was so expensive to build out that Google stopped offering it in new cities in 2016. So they had to find a way to cut costs. And getting rid of fiber TV in February 2020 was an easy choice, given that Google already offered its YouTube TV service that allowed customers to stream most of the same channels. Let's wrap up this edition of Google Graveyard by looking at Pidgin. And no, this wasn't an app that would wake you up with cooing noises. Ah, what? This was supposed to be a Waze-like app, but instead of traffic, you would get crowdsourced updates on public transit. So news about delays on your route would be pushed to your phone, but you'd also get notified about problems with escalators, unsanitary conditions, perhaps caused by pigeons, and even if there's entertainment en route, things that will be familiar to anyone who's ever visited New York City. It sounded like a great idea to fill in gaps that official information from the transit services themselves couldn't. Even Google Maps doesn't include information that comprehensive if you try to plan out a trip on mass transit. But then, of course, the pandemic hit, and with it, mass transit systems around the world either significantly reduced service or suspended it completely, making Pidgin a victim of colossally bad timing. Pidgin went the way of the dodo. That's a good one. In June 2020, but hopefully we'll see something like it again from Google in the future, considering how people are increasingly viewing Google Maps as a tell me everything about the route I'm on and where I'm going kind of service. But Google has killed off plenty of other interesting projects, so let us know what you'd like to hear about in the next installment of this series. Until then, here's hoping that Google gadget you just bought has a long and happy life. But you know what will make you happy? Is if you check out our sponsor, Private Internet Access, the VPN that masks your IP address and encrypts your internet traffic. PIA has reliable service with over 19,000 servers in 76 countries and no bandwidth caps. It has configurable encryption and an internet kill switch to keep you in control of your connection and privacy, and when you combine it with private browsing, you can make websites think you're in a different country. What? Connect up to 10 devices at once with their clients for Windows, Mac, Android, iOS, and Linux, and stay protected with Mace, the built-in malware and tracking blocker. Try it risk-free for 30 days. Just head to privateinternetaccess.com/techwiki right now. That's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. Like if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it. Check out our other videos. Comment below with video suggestions, and don't forget to subscribe and follow. I'll be watching.